Hi, I'm Hughie Higginson, I'm 16 years old, and this is the first podcast we've been doing for Acute Lymphoblastic Leukaemia with Jude. Welcome to Let's Talk Blood Cancer, the Patients Podcast. I'm a bit of a different host that you've got today. My name's Hughie Higginson, and I am the younger, more attractive host than your usual Adam Joyce. So let's get into it. We're talking with Jude Hawkridge, who's a cancer patient, former cancer patient like myself. Jude, hello.
Hello.
So just start off with a little bit of your story. When were you diagnosed? What were you diagnosed with?
So when I was 7, I was diagnosed with leukemia.
Do you know what type of leukemia it was?
I don't remember.
I've got here that it's acute lymphoblastic leukemia, which is the same one that I had.
Yeah.
So we've got some common ground. So everybody has different symptoms when they're having when they start the sort of process of it. What were the symptoms that you had that took you to the doctors?
I started feeling more weaker and I couldn't play football and go swimming with my mates. And then when I was playing football on a Sunday, I got winded with ball and then I just passed out on the floor. So I went to hospital and then I got checked out and I was told that I had leukemia. How did you find out?
Well, mine was over a really long period of time. So mine was over about 3 months. And it's similar to you, actually. It started when I was playing football. I was feeling really tired. I got hit in the chest with the ball. And I couldn't get up off the floor. And then it was just sort of, I had aches and pains in my chest, my back, my knees and my ankles. And we kept going to the doctors, and it was difficult with me because it wasn't in my blood. So it was in a piece of tissue in between your bone and your bone marrow. So it was a really specific test that it was. But it took about 3 months to diagnose me. It wasn't anybody's fault. It was just something that was it was hard to find, basically. So was the process fairly quick for you to start having the symptoms and then getting diagnosed?
Yeah, it took about maybe 2 weeks to find out.
Do you remember when you first got told? Do you remember when the doctor told you what were you feeling? How did you feel?
Yeah, the only thing I knew about cancer was that it can kill you really, and I saw my mum started crying and my dad were getting really worried, so I was really confused and panicked at the same time, but I understood it a bit, but not really.
Yeah, I think when I remember when I was told in the room, they'd throw these big words at you like cancer, chemotherapy. Did you understand any of that? Because you were 3 years younger than me. I was 10 when I was diagnosed and you were 7. Did you understand what you were being told?
No, not really. I only understood the word cancer, so I didn't understand any treatments or anything. Just knew I had to try and get rid of it.
I feel like when I was having treatment, it was fairly quick. You learn about all the things as soon as you're in it. And I remember my mum speaking to some of the other parents, and they were saying, "Yeah, it's once you're having your treatment, you sort of know it, and it just becomes your day-to-day life." How did it feel for you? Because you were younger, and possibly a different treatment plan. I don't know, but how was it for you?
Well, I mean, it was okay at first because I started learning more about how blood works and stuff and all B cells and that, and I started understanding what treatment I had to do. So I had to have chemo first, but then that didn't work, so I had to have a CAR-T.
What is that? Because I didn't have that, and people watching might not realise what it is. So if you want to just explain your treatment in simple terms, if you know what it is.
So I had to go for 2 to 3 days to have my blood took out of me, and then I think they freeze the cells and do something with them. And then I went back in maybe a few months after, and they put them back in, and it's you get they're putting something through you, and you get a really weird taste in your mouth. And then it takes I think it took about 2 hours to do, but you're awake while it happens.
Really? So how long is it? How long is that process? What is it? CAR-T is what it's called. How long is that process in total?
For like 3 to 4 months, I'd say.
Right, okay. And you, I saw you had a bone marrow transplant as well, and from the people that I met who had a bone marrow transplant, they had to be in isolation for a really long time. Is it the same with you?
Yeah, I think like a month and a bit I was in the hospital for, and my sister did it for me because we had a match, and that like brought down the cancer cells to help for my final treatment.
And was there any Was there any changes in your body? Was there anything that you felt was different in yourself?
I felt like I started getting a bit healthier because then I could go home and I started like being able to play football again. I was learning, and I was able to play in like a school tournament where I had my thingy, and so I had to like put like this thing on to make it so it didn't fall out. But
was that your line that you had?
Yeah. But
did you have a? So there's two types of lines, isn't there? There's a port and a Hickman.
I've had both.
Have you?
Yeah.
Right.
So I had the port at the time, and then I was like being able to play with my friends and that and going out, but I still hadn't got rid of the cancer fully.
Right. Well, it is crazy how, because I was playing football with my friends during treatment and like going out and seeing people, and do you think it's weird that you're going through that and you're sort of acting normally with your friends? It's weird to think that, not that they don't know what you're going through, but they don't realise what you're still going through at that time. Did you ever think about what your friends might think?
Yeah, I like didn't want them to worry about it, but I also didn't really like it when people treat me differently because of it. So I tried telling them that I am all right, it's just I've got to have these treatments and that. And
did your hair fall out with the chemo?
Yeah, I did. I didn't want a wig either, I just left my hair up.
Do you know, that's exactly how I felt. I was rocking being bald. Yeah, I liked it.
I like it too.
It was well, I had it in winter, so it was pretty cold. I was wearing a hat a lot. But like when you're drying your hair, you literally with a towel.
I got a buzz cut again last summer.
Did you?
Yeah.
Well, people have asked me if I was ever going to get a buzz cut. I was like, I've done it. Been there and done that under different circumstances, but yeah. When you, because I remember there's some days of treatment where you just feel awful, and you can get really down and like really down in the dumps. What did you do? It sounds really weird, but I used to have showers when I felt sick. There was some days where I'd just be sitting in the shower for hours.
Yeah, well,
it just made me feel better.
When I was in hospital, I had this like heated blanket, and it really helped me. So when I just felt bad, and when I went to sleep, I just put it on, and it kind of comforted me because like remember how it helped me in hospital.
Yeah.
So
that's nice. Is there anything else that you think back now that in hospital was comforting for you? One thing that you enjoyed doing in hospital that you look back with fond memories?
Watching my movies with my mum, and then I had like this PS4 that I brought in and used to call with my mates and play like Minecraft and that on it.
I remember it's when you look back at it, it's the same for me. I think it's horrible when you're there, but when you look back, you make some good friends. Like I made some really good friends in hospital. I still speak to some of them now, and you look back and you think it was an awful time, but it was also a nice time because of the people you've met out of it and the nurses that you meet, and when you go back for routine checkups, it's nice to see everybody, and it's nice to see them see you, how much you've changed. When you go back, do you still go back to the hospital now? What hospital were you treated at?
Sheffield, and then I had my CAR-Ts in Manchester.
Right. And do you still go back and see all the people that treated you now?
Yeah, half of them only recognise me because of my mum.
I was going to say you've got a very trendy haircut going on. What was one thing? I know when I was having treatment, I wasn't allowed to eat certain things. You weren't allowed to go on holiday. What was one thing that you missed when you were having treatment?
Probably eating, because for like 2 months I wasn't able to eat because when I were in for my CAR-T, I got this like stomach thing. I forgot what it was, but right. I weren't eat, so I was missing like eating like pizzas and that.
I remember there was one of my friends in hospital. Anybody who doesn't know, when you're having treatment, you want really salty foods, and it's really weird, like the foods that you crave, because you get cravings. I used to eat Wotsits. I used to eat bags and bags of Wotsits all the time. Ham sandwiches was another one, bacon, and there was somebody in the bed next to me who I made good friends with. He had to get his dad to go to a certain pizza shop from where he lived, pick a pizza up, bring it all the way to the hospital, just because he was just craving that pizza. Did you have any weird cravings?
I had ketchup sandwiches, so like just bread with ketchup on it.
Oh, that sounds horrible.
I don't know why I like that. And then Hubba Bubba. Chewing gum for like... my mum used to bring about 20 packs in.
Really?
To Manchester, and then Texas barbecue Pringles, but I still like them.
Barbecue Pringles. That sounds like a good one.
Yeah.
I like that. So you were treated by Rob Wynn, and Rob Wynn was the consultant that overseed my... What's the word? Overseed? My treatment. How would you describe Rob Wynn?
Massive Liverpool fan.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, funny guy, and then he's really like, he loves his job and like loves to help people, and he's a really respectful guy.
Yeah, I find whenever I speak to Rob, he's like a hero, isn't he? Because he helped so many kids. I know so many people who've been treated by him and who've got better because of him. But I just feel like you put all your trust in him, because he's the type of person who you know you can trust. I think he's a special guy. So we had a chat about how long you were in isolation for. What was the longest time you were in hospital at once?
3 months for my last CAR-T.
Right. And how was that, being in hospital for so long and not seeing your friends? And
yeah, it were annoying. Like, I remember every time doctors came in, I was like, "Can I go home yet? Can I go home?" And they just said, "Nah, you're not ready yet." And then towards like the last 2 weeks, I just suddenly got like better instantly. So then I just was able to go out then.
We were speaking before, me and you were both having treatment in COVID. And obviously in hospitals during COVID, people weren't allowed to come and visit you. I was only allowed one family member with me at a time. And it was weird not having, because it was 2 weeks you had to wait before you had a swap round of parents. But I didn't see my sister or any of my friends or my brother or my dog for months. Was it the same for you, or was it?
Well, I was like at the window outside the hospital, so sometimes my friends would come and just wave at me out at the window.
There was one time actually where my dad's friend brought a platter of ham sandwiches and Wotsits, and he was stood outside the window. And I was standing in the window waving at them, and then they brought out this huge, like, it was a platter probably as big as that table, just full of ham sandwiches. And I tell you what, I rattled through them all. But yeah, it was waving out the window to your dog, and my dog came to visit me quite a few times. My siblings, but it's a weird scenario that you're in, where you're at one of the lowest points that you've ever been, and you can't actually see any of your family. How did it make you feel?
A bit depressed, because like I felt like I was missing out with doing stuff that other people were doing, like going on walks and just enjoying life, but I couldn't do that because I was just stuck in a room. What
did you miss the most from home?
Football. Going to watch Leeds and then playing on Sundays.
You're a big Leeds fan, aren't you? Yeah, I'm a Burnley fan, so there's a little bit of competition at the minute. Did you meet? I met quite a lot of friends during hospital. Did you meet anybody who you're still in contact with? Did you make friends with anybody who was having the same thing as you?
No, not really. But Leeds United helped me through it, and then Liam Cooper, the football player, I met some of his kids, and then like I became friends with them, and I still am. So. They really helped me through it. But like, I met the squad, trained with them and stuff like that.
That must have been well cool. Who's your favourite Leeds player?
Now I'd probably say Joe Roden.
All right, okay.
But overall, Liam Cooper.
Yeah, he sounds like a nice guy.
Yeah.
So what was What did your friends? Did you still speak to your friends whilst you were in hospital?
Yeah, I called with them and stuff like that to tell them how I was doing. Because some of them understood it, but others didn't.
And what did they make you feel better? What sort of things were they saying to you?
They were just like a lot of them. Like my mate Harry, he just treated me the same, like no different, which I probably preferred. And he was just like made jokes about it, and I can joke with him, and he really helped me through most of it.
When you were first told, and this goes back to sort of before you were having treatment, what did you know about chemotherapy or cancer or anything along those lines? And when you were diagnosed and when the doctors were explaining it to you, how was there anything that you thought was different to what it was?
Yeah, I thought it'd have probably been easier than it was, and I thought that I would have been able to do more outside. Like I couldn't go on holiday. I didn't know that I couldn't do that and stuff like that.
What was the worst thing about your treatment?
Probably just being trapped inside. Didn't like that at all. And then like some of the pain I had to treatment, so I hated like the port and stuff like that. But now I'm fine with needles, but I used to hate them.
I was terrified of needles when I first started. And do you know what else? I couldn't take pills.
Yeah, I couldn't either.
I couldn't take pills when I first started. And then I was like, I kept trying to do it and I just couldn't do it. And then it was about 18 months in where I learned to take my first pill. And then it was much easier from then on because it's all the liquids that taste horrible.
They're horrible.
Like they can make these drugs that do all these amazing things, but they can't make them taste nice. How important on the treatment side of things? How important? Because Acute Leukaemia are all about making treatment less toxic and less harmful for kids with the ATICUS Network. How important do you think that is, and do you think it will make a difference to other kids in the future?
Yeah, it'll make them like have to go through less pain, and then it makes me feel good to know that other kids will have to feel what I did.
It's a good answer. Do you think as the treatment progressed, how long were you on treatment for in total?
Probably like, I think 2 years, 2 to 3 years. Yeah.
So when did you get the all clear then? When you were, how old were you?
I think 11,
Right,
no,
okay.
10, I think, yeah.
Right. And did the treatment get harder or easier as you progressed?
Harder, because I had less and less options to try and treat me and get me better.
My treatment was always fairly. I got my treatment plan, and that was sort of it. I knew what I was doing after I got my treatment plan. I was fairly straightforward, but I know people who had to make decisions and had to make choices with the treatment, and it's the risk that you take. But you had people like Rob Wynn, and you're part of a what do you call it, a trials network, weren't you?
Yeah.
So what was the decision behind that, and did Rob Wynn help with that?
Yeah, I think it was more my mum that decided that, but I think only like 11 people had it before me, so I was like one at first to have it, but luckily it worked.
And do you know anything about trials and how they work and what the process is with doing it?
No, I don't really know that much.
So Cure Leukemia have clinical trials, and they want to make the treatment less harmful and less toxic by putting forward new treatments and seeing how well they work. So like what you had, it's like basically doing that, but instead of making them work just as well, they're also making them less toxic, which I think is super important, not only for treatment in the future, but also for the well-being and the health of kids. What do you think about that?
It's really good because there's more options if others fail, don't there? So that means kids have got more chances to get better.
And what point in your treatment did you start to feel like you were getting back to yourself? What was the point where after all your treatment you're feeling a lot better in yourself?
Probably when I could go back to school, because I was really excited. So I started crying when I found out I could go back to school, so I could see all my friends and stuff like that.
I started, when I went back to school, I started at year 7. So I'd missed year 5 because of COVID. I missed year 6 because I was on treatment. And then I'd missed 2 years of school and then went straight to high school, and I didn't have any friends there. What year did you join back in if you were?
5, so I missed most of year 3 and 4, and then
Right.
I'll leave.
What was it like going back and seeing all your friends after like 2 years of?
It were right good, but I had like 50 people following me around the entire school.
Yeah, I'd still lost my hair when I was back at school,
Yes,
so people were sort of. I wouldn't say they were treating me differently, but it was a little bit weird going back, and because you were obviously I felt different, and you look different obviously, and I think it's really comforting going back to school and people treating you just as you were, and you've had months, years in our cases of people not seeing you, and you're going back. You're feeling and looking completely different. How was that for you going back after 2 years of a really traumatic time?
Well, I mean, I kind of fit in straight away because I am quite smart. So I'm still in top set even though I miss a lot of school. And it made me feel like I was becoming more of a kid again. And
Yeah.
it made me a lot happier.
I felt like my mum was always really protective of me. So I was always like in school. I was never allowed out on treatment because it was dangerous if I went out and got a cold, and I could have ended up in hospital. But it's nice when you finish your treatment, but when you're still on treatment and you're feeling better, it's nice to spend time with and going out with people your own age. Yeah. Do you ever think back to when you were in hospital, and what do you remember of it, and do you look back with like fond memories, or is it a bit of both, bit of good, a bit of bad?
A bit of good because I look back on it and see how far I've come, but then I just remember that like I always had that hard time, but it's made me a lot tougher in myself. Like I can get on with stuff better, and I think it's made me more confident as a person as well.
Do you think it's made you more resilient to things?
Yeah, 100%.
It's really weird because the worst thing in your life. I know it sounds really bad, but it can be one of the things that shapes you into who you are, because it's something that is your entire life. It was almost 4 years. It was 3.5 years my treatment. So for that 3.5 years, that's the main thing in your life. And once you're out of that, it's sort of that's sort of it. So do you think it's made you stronger as a person? It's changed the way your outlook on life.
Yeah, it's changed the way I look on life, and it's made me appreciate it more, like what I have and who I have and that stuff like that. Yeah. Was
there anything when you were having your treatment that you thought, oh, when I finish my treatment, that's what I want to do. That's what I really want to do.
Yeah, like I really wanted to start doing mountain biking, which I do now. I do like jumps and stuff like that now.
And you were telling me you've just been to America. You've had a big trip.
Going on holidays and stuff like that.
What was the first holiday you went on?
I went to Greece with all my family.
Very nice. That was a big thing for me. I really wanted to go to Milan. I wanted to go and see the San Siro. We had a family holiday in Lanzarote first, and you know what? I've still not been to Milan, but that's something that I need to catch up on with my mum. What was it like? How did you feel when you finished your treatment and that was it? That's the 4 years of treatment. That's it done. How did you feel?
Felt really relieved that I could finally focus more on other stuff and get on with my life. And I was just happy to be alive, really.
That's it. Do you know what? It's really inspirational. Things like saying things like that. That you're just so glad that you're all right and that you got out the other side.
Yeah.
All good. And I think it's for some people, it doesn't always happen. I had friends in hospital who their treatment their condition got progressively worse, and some of my friends died in hospital. So it's really tough when you have to go through that, not only for their families but as friends, and seeing people in hospital in sort of the same sort of boat as you, them having such a tough time. You do feel really, really lucky. But at the end of the day, it's all down to the amazing doctors and nurses that are at the hospital. If you could say anything to the doctors and nurses that treated you, what would you say?
I'd say thank you for all of it, really. Thank you for helping me to like get back to who I was before, and to learn from it, and just to look back on it and become a better person from it as well.
What do you think little Jude, 7-year-old Jude, who'd just been told he had cancer, what do you think he would think of you today?
I think he'd be happy with what I've become, and that I've become more like confident and stuff like that, yeah. Happier.
Think you'd be proud of yourself?
Yeah.
What do you want to be doing in 5 years?
I want to live in Switzerland.
Fair enough. That sounds about right. I want to be in Australia in 5 years. Why Switzerland?
Because there's loads of good biking places. It's right nice for
and
like
chocolate.
biking.
Chocolate and watches.
Yeah.
Yeah, Switzerland sounds good. I might join you. Are you back playing football? That's the big question.
Yeah, I play for Greece for my local team with a few of my friends from my school as well.
What position do you play in?
Centre mid.
Centre mid. So you're doing a lot of running then?
Yeah.
So you're back to like full fitness and...
Yeah.
How was it when you played? I remember my first game. I was still on treatment, and I came on as a sub, and it was quite emotional actually, because it was one thing that I'd missed doing so much when I was feeling really poorly and having the main bulk of my treatment. How did you feel when you first stepped onto the pitch?
Just felt like I finally made it out and that I can play football again like I've always wanted to do.
And if there's somebody at the beginning of their treatment right now, what do you think you'd say to them?
That it's going to be all right and that you can get through it.
You're a brave kid, Jude. You're a brave kid. Thank you, Jude. It's been great talking to you. I've learned a lot about you and your treatment. And thank you for watching. I've been Hughie Higginson, and this has been the Let's Talk Blood Cancer.
Hang on. One moment. Let me join you on the sofa. Let's join you on the sofa here. Hughie, that was pretty special. How did it feel hosting the Patients Podcast?
It's been great, hasn't it, Jude?
Yeah.
It's been it's my first one, and you know it's been really fun. I want to do this more often. I'll be taking your job.
Do you know what? I think you're already well into driving any aspirations I had of becoming a host right into the ground. You are an absolute star. I think that was brilliant. What was your favourite part of it?
Oh, definitely the conversation about the cravings. The ketchup sandwich is, that's a crazy one.
Yeah, that was something different to listen to. That was.
Yeah. I'm not sure about that, Jude.
They're ain't good.
Well, listen, you did an awesome job. Why don't you have the last word?
Thank you very much for watching. This has been the Let's Talk Blood Cancer, the Patients Podcast.